Good morning, welcome back to Ravenclaw Reads. I'm Courtney and you are tuning in for another weekly reading vlog. Happy to start another Monday with you guys. It's Monday, October 23rd, and it was a pretty good reading weekend. As I mentioned in my last vlog, I was off on Thursday and Friday, and so that gave me more time to sort of like finish up some reading that I wanted to do. I read like 2 books this weekend, and I'm okay with it. So far this month, I've read 12 books, and I would like to read 2 or 3 more this week. We shall see. But this past weekend, I read a short novella called Mr. October. It was like 80 pages long, and they have a couple of these on Kindle Unlimited right now, and they're really good. But this was just a really cute romance about a couple that were teachers. Let me remember. Okay, both of them are teachers, and the woman is not scared of Halloween, but she gets pranked a lot at the school, and so they kind of team up to get people back and prank people, and then they fall in love, and they start to date, and they date right at the end, and so it was the perfect little bite of romance that I needed, and really, really enjoyed it. So I gave that 4 or 5 stars, and then I went ahead and read, well, I picked up The Only Purple House in Town, and guys, I was not excited at all about this book. I started it and I was like really trying to go for it, and I got about like 20 pages in, and I was like, let me just check on Goodreads what people are saying about this book, because I don't get it and I already don't like it. And so when I went on Goodreads, yeah, it did not have the best rating, and same thing, people just didn't get it. It wasn't a fun read for them. And so this is my 3rd Anne Aguirre book that I've sort of attempted. I think I read one but didn't love it, and so maybe she's just not the author for me, and that's okay. But I did DNF this, and it's such a beautiful book. Maybe I'll put it up on, is it Pango Books that sells? Maybe I'll put it up and sell it, because, or donate it to my library. It's a beautiful book, but I'm not going to read it. And then I kind of just was getting burnt out on the whole witchy romance October vibe. I'm very much a mood reader. If you are new to my channel, you wouldn't know that, but if you have been on my channel for a while, you know I'm a mood reader. And so while I do have reading plans for each month, I don't usually stick to like this hard, fast, like here's a stack of books I'm going to read and I can't deviate. And so doing that makes me less ambitious to read. And so that's why I don't do like a strict TBR. So I am excited to wrap up this month. Also excited to jump into November, where I'm just going to mood read for the month like I normally do, and I'll probably just show you each week what I plan to read for that upcoming week. But there's quite a few books I still haven't gotten to that were on my original plan, and I have no desire to read them. They are What You Gonna Do, A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, this cute little one that I can't pronounce, although this one's really short. Maybe I might read this one. I might read some reviews on this one, but it'll have to be in October. And I never got to this one, and I really did want to read this one. So I think I might keep these last 2. Oh, it has knitting directions in the back. That's so cute. So Kennedy's a knitter, my oldest. She's a knitter. And so I think this is really cute. Anyway, so I might keep those 2. Also, I love a library hardcover with a little contact paper on it, so that's probably what's speaking to me. Anyway, got off track. So I read Wildfire. It was on my Kindle. As you guys know, I'm really trying to dig into Kindle reading, which will be contradicted in just a moment, but I ended up giving it 3 stars. I started it on Saturday night, finished it Sunday. It's about 400 pages, just shy of, and it wasn't great, y'all. Okay, so I read Icebreaker last year. Or was it earlier this year? It was earlier this year. And I thought it was okay, but I felt like I was a little too old for the storyline. It's definitely like, in that one, it was like hockey romance. This one is in the same universe. So the main guy, I'm not going to know any of their names. The main guy is a hockey player, but it's summer, and he meets a girl at a party and they kind of have a one-night stand at the party. And then they're both unknowingly, they didn't know it, but they both are going to be counselors at this kids sleepaway camp. And so they meet again. Well, let's back it up. So after they have their one-night stand, he goes to the restroom and takes like a long time in there, and she hears him talking to somebody, so she just assumes that he wants her to leave, and so she just books it in the middle of the night. Well, that's your miscommunication right there, because pretty early on he was trying to hype himself up to ask her out, because I guess he's generally pretty shy, and she's kind of like the girl about town. She gets up and hooks up with everybody, so she's like, I know how this works, I'm just gonna sneak out. Anyway, so they go to the camp, and once that miscommunication is figured out pretty early on, they are almost inseparable, but there's very strict rules at the camp about counselors dating, and so, or being in each other's cabins, things like that, so there's nothing physical going on. But they're like, they take their days off together, they do hikes together, and like they're just spending like so much time together, and it's been like days or like weeks. And something that really turned me off about this was that they were both very needy, and they just used each other to trauma dump. So they both had like dad issues, and they would go on these hikes and just like, you tell your drama, I tell my drama, and then we go our separate ways. Like nothing even physical happening, which it doesn't have to, but it's just like, why are we like, I didn't care about any of the dad drama, to be honest. And then there's one instance where the guy has to leave for a family emergency, and he just leaves and tells like the manager, but doesn't tell her. And when he comes back, she's like, where were you? I was so worried. So it was like literally 12 hours. And then there's a time when they go hiking and they fall asleep on the beach, and when he wakes up, she's not there, and he's panicked and what's going on, and he goes to find her. She's just like literally swimming in the ocean. It's like, calm down. Like, you guys are like 20 or 21. Like, we don't act like that. We don't do this. And so it was really, that was like a huge, like, ugh, I don't like it. And it just, I don't know. It does get very physical and adult in nature, but just like with Icebreaker, well, it started kind of late in the book, which I was like, you know, I don't need the book to contain all of that. And we know what Hannah Grace brings, so why is it taking her so long to bring it? When it happened, that's the only thing they did. That's the only thing they did. So I'm like skimming through it, because like I don't need to continue to read it, especially when I don't care about the characters. The girl was kind of annoying. So 3 stars, because somebody will like it. I will read book 3 against all my better judgment. And yeah, I just, anyway, so that was Wildfire. So after that, I was kind of browsing around on my Kindle for what to read next, and I'll show you in just a moment what I'm going to read this week. But after I finished that, I ran over to Target, and I was like, I'm going to look in the book section. And again, I'm really not buying physical books too much. Mostly are on my Kindle. But I just picked up 2. One, well, I'll explain. Okay, the first one I picked up is The Xmas Holidays by Zoe Allison. I've seen this on Kindles, and I read some reviews on it, and it looks like it's going to be good. Now, December, I do read Christmas books, but I don't only read Christmas books. And so unlike October, where I'm only reading spooky things, I will read Christmas books in December, and it's a time for me to like finish up on other books that I want to read. So I have some Christmas books, but that's not the only thing I'm going to read. So I got that one for then. And then I picked up The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. This one is on Kindle. However, her books are so chunky that I prefer just to hold them sometimes. And the cover on the Kindle version is, I don't love it. So I got that. That really wasn't a great justification, but I did pick it up. Okay, so then when I got home, I decided I was going to look at my Kindle to find my next good read, and I was struggling because I do have quite a few books on my Kindle that I need to get to, and I'm kind of over, like I said, the witchy theme, and so I was just like, what could I read instead? And so I picked up The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Winstead, And I'm reading it on my Oasis right now, but I'm going to go to my Paperwhite. My throat's killing me today. I'm going to go to my Paperwhite to finish reading that today. But I started this yesterday and it was so good. I was so excited to read a book that like is flying by, right? That just feels like a good read. So I'm about 16% in on page 61 of 365. And we're just kind of getting into this. So we are meeting, oh goodness, what are their names? Logan's the guy. And the girl is, hold on. How could I forget it? Her name is Alexis Stone. Alexis is my middle name. Okay, so we meet Alexis and Logan. Alexis is celebrating her 2-year anniversary of being cheated on by her ex-boyfriend by going to a club and gonna have a one-night stand. And she sits at the bar waiting for somebody to approach her. This real icky guy approaches her. She gives him a fake name. She says, my name's Ruby Dangerfield, and I'm going to try to, and just get away from me. A guy steps in, Logan, because the guy's not catching the hint. And then Logan and Alexis come and they hang out for the night. He does think her name is Ruby, and she goes into this like whole rant about like her life, but it's all kind of fake. She's a school librarian, but she gives him the story about all these adventures that she's been on, and he believes it. They decide to have, they decide to have a one-night stand, and they get back to a hotel, and the fire alarm goes off. So they never do anything, and they just kind of go their separate ways. She's as they're exiting the hotel, they're going downstairs. She's wearing high heels. She sprains her ankle. He gets an ambulance for her because they're already there for the fire. And then they never see each other again. And then there is a picture of them in the papers, basically showing them together. And I guess he's a Democratic political candidate. And so his camp have called her and have kind of done research on her. But basically they want her to fake date him in the press so that he could fix up his bad boy, sort of playboy reputation. And she's like the perfect person because she's so innocent, seemingly, and boring, right? That's what she doesn't want to be, is boring. And so that's kind of where I am right now. They did do background on Alexis, and so now Logan does know her real name, knows that she lied and all that. And she's like, it was just for fun. Like, it wasn't nothing pressing. So it's really cute. It's written really well. It's very light. It's exactly what I want to read. And so I'm excited about that. So I will read that this week. And then I'm just walking around storing everything in this sleeve. This is the midi. This is the sort of medium sleeve. And right now I had the Paperwhite in the mini. So this little one. But the Oasis fits in it too. It's snug, but it fits. And then I had the Oasis in the midi. But what I'm doing now is I have books in here that I'm going to read. So this is like my weekly reading. So the Kindle's in there, of course, because I'm going to read The Boyfriend Candidate. I'm also on book 16 of the Babysitters Club. And actually, I think I have the newer Netflix copy of this. So again, I like to keep these ones nice because if you saw my last week video, my little puppy ate the corner of my book. He didn't eat it, but he chewed it. And I'd rather keep these ones nice. Although this one looks like it was never used. So nice. And then I asked Reagan what she thinks I should read next because I was on my bookshelf. And I always like to have a physical and a Kindle something. And she picked out the Thursday Murder Club. And I have had this for a couple of months. Wanted to read it. It's not too long of a book, and so I really think I could read all 3 of these this week and be happy with my results of reading for the month of October. And then, like I said, start thinking about what I want to read in November. But I have so many Kindle books that I need to get to or would like to get to. I still have the Brothers Hawthorne I'd like to get to. I have some fantasy books that I like to get to, but it's like I feel like I've been kind of stuck in this mode for October, so I'm ready to move on out of it. But anyway, that is the update for Monday. It's always chatty on Monday. But yeah, that's it. We will see you. Well, I might do reading sprints, I might not. I haven't been doing them. But I will check in later if I have more updates. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Okay, as if my Monday wasn't like 20 minutes long already, I forgot to mention that I'm also listening to Witches Get Stuff Done. This is by Molly Harper. I'm looking at my iPads on Audible. I saw this book and was interested in it, but I didn't want to pay for it. They didn't have it at the library, or it was like a long hold, but it's actually on Audible, and I restarted my Audible membership, and so it is available for free, right? It's part of your premium Audible whatever. And so it's really cute already. We are following Riley. She is going to visit her mom's hometown. Her mom just passed away, and her dad has sent her to her aunt to sort of like get the history of her mom. Not in a sad way, just like that's just what's happening. And Riley is just starting to get introduced to all the townspeople. So it's giving like a cozy vibe too, of like all in the same town. I'm only about 40 minutes in, and I have it on 1.9 speed. And I have about 4 hours of it. So I have a commute tomorrow, so I'll probably listen to it then. I'm doing stuff today that I can't listen and do, and so I will be listening to it when I have time to do other things and listen. But it's really cute so far. I'm really liking it. So that would be 4 books this week, and that would be great if I can get all 4 of those done. Side note too, as I was talking about the book, let me just move, excuse my hand. I brought down my little to-go pack, and within a minute, my boy already bit into it. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get the Netflix one, so that if he's got the need to bite something, it's not the classic book. But you can't be mad at a cute little face like that, can you? You can't be mad at a face like that. Right. I love you. You can't be mad at a face like that. Puppy content. Okay, that's it. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I am just about to exercise, and I realized I hadn't done my video clip for today, so I just want to hop on real quick. So I continued to read The Boyfriend Candidate yesterday. Still, like, this is probably like a solid 4 stars for me. It's still really good. So we're still following our main characters who are now fake dating. The librarian, why can't I remember their names? The librarian girl, she is Alexis Stone. Oh my gosh, that's my middle name, guys. Okay, Alexis has decided to take on fake dating Logan, as long as she gets to promote a platform which is better paid for librarians and educators. And so he's letting her do that as sort of like it's a payback for fake dating, making his reputation better. But also he believes in that as well. He just was sort of changed his position as he got further into politics, as I think happens quite often. But it's a romance. So as they spend more time together, they had like a fake date, and then they had like a regular, not a date, but a hangout. And you can tell that they're really liking each other. So I think that's really cute. Today I was looking at YouTube as I was in the background, and I found a new YouTuber named Shawnaci Schroeder. I will link her down below. Really good aesthetic. She seems to be maybe in her late 20s. She reads the same books that I read, so she's mostly a romance reader, but her videos are just really calming, and they have good content, so I will link her below. I think she has a good following already, but still like to share that. But today is Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, which could only mean one thing. It is time. It is time. Let me just tell you guys, I think, and I've never done this before, I really think I'm going to do a reading vlog of this book, because you don't understand how invested I am in both NSYNC and Britney Spears. So if you are around my age, I'm 40, when NSYNC and Britney came, I was like, NSYNC and Britney, Backstreet Boys, Christina, right? It's like 2 separate camps. Never the two shall meet. I was, oh my gosh, the thunder is crazy. I was NSYNC and Britney all the way. NSYNC I followed from the very first Disney concert they had, like in 97. And then I went to their concert in 99. Britney was the opening act. Nobody really liked her because we were like, who's this girl touring with our man or our men? But I love Britney Spears. So much so that my first tattoo is from her CD, Oops, I Did It Again. She signed her B with her B looks like a butterfly wing. And on my shoulder back here, I have that butterfly wing, like her B signature, and they turned into a butterfly. So I literally had to take the pamphlet from the inside of the CD case to the tattoo shop to get that. So like I'm down for the ride. But I want to do a reading vlog because I just feel like I'm going to be alarmed and shocked. I was a Justin girl, and I'll own that, okay? I will own that I was a Justin girl. He is all of ours toxic ex-boyfriend, and to know that he kind of dogged her out just from what I hear on TikTok, like I need to go there. I need to debrief in between my reading, and you guys are the only people who are going to understand that, so I might do a reading vlog of this book. I don't know how long it'll take me to read, but I'll stop in between and sort of give my thoughts. I'm so ready for this book. So ready. Here's the problem though. I'm reading The Boyfriend Candidate, and I want to stay like true to finishing that because I'm about 50% in, and I know if I start picking this one up or trying to balance both of them, it's going to be chaotic. So this might be my first book in November, because I already have a couple books that I'm reading for this month, but I'm so excited, guys. I cannot wait. The other thing, and the last thing, not major at all, I've been thinking about getting a case for the Scribe. Comment down below, what do you think? Do you think it'll make it too clunky? If I find a nice thin case, I saw the girl that I'm going to link, Shawnaci Schroeder. She got a case for her Kindle Scribe, and I kind of like had case envy. So I don't know. I mean, of course I love the sleeves, but I'm just wondering. Comment down below what you think. Anyway, that's it for, what day is today? Tuesday. And we will check back in tomorrow. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Popping in really quick. I don't have that much to update. Well, a little. So I finished The Boyfriend Candidate yesterday while Reagan was doing her trumpet lesson, and I ended up giving this a 3-star. I was kind of bummed because I really thought it was going to be a 4-star, 4.5 maybe, but like honestly what happened towards the end or sort of middle was that it started getting really heavy in like the political aspects of a candidacy run, and I just didn't care about that. This is a slow burn. I didn't realize it was a slow burn until I saw on Goodreads, because what I've been doing is like, I don't usually use Goodreads to dictate my reading. I put my review on Goodreads. People can either take it or leave it, but I don't usually pick up Goodreads to decide whether I'm going to read a book. But what I've been doing recently is in the middle of a book, if it's kind of dragging for me, I would go to Goodreads and be like, what did everybody else say? Because everybody else is like, this was amazing. Maybe I just need to give it more of a try. And so with Boyfriend Candidate, what I read was that it's a slow burn, and I dislike slow burns. This book does have some adult content, but it's not like, I wouldn't label it a spicy book. It's definitely a romance, a contemporary romance. And they finally get together at 92% of the book. And so to me, that was just too slow. So I gave it 3 stars, not my favorite. And then last night I started reading, Jesse's Secret Language. And that should be really quick to get through. And then, where am I at? I'm using my Kindle Scribe. I was using the, the Oasis and Paperwhite last night. So I am about 6% into this book. It's only 108 pages, so hoping to finish that. And then I started lightly reading the book Hooked, but it's like a spicy retelling of Peter Pan, and I'm actually going to remove that right now. Not for me. But like I said yesterday, I found a new YouTuber. I will link her down below. And she has her November TBR, which I'm filming today. These aren't on my TBR because I'm going to do something different. I'm going to just do a weekly reading plan for November because I am a mood reader, and months like October or December or February where I have like a very specific theme, it's really hard for me. And so I try to maximize mood reading the following month. So, but she had some great books that were by BIPOC authors, which I would love to expand my palette on BIPOC authors. And she had the physical books, but all of them that I liked were on Kindle Unlimited. And so I will speak about those at one point, but they are The Friendship Contract by Mia, what's it say? Mia Heinzelman. And then Saint Avenue by Sheree Lewis. If We Ever Meet Again by Anna Huang. And Collide, which is a series by Bal Cabra. And so just trying something different. Also The Roommate Risk loaded up by Talia Hibbert. And so just kind of playing around with those. One thing I haven't talked a lot about this week is my Audible that I'm listening to. I am listening to Witches Get Stuff Done. And I'm maybe about halfway. I will finish it for the October reading list, but it is an okay book right now. Right now we're following Riley. Riley comes back to her mom's hometown to find out more about her after her mom has passed away. She's hoping to connect with her aunt. And when she gets to the old hometown, her aunt has just passed away. And in that, she's given Riley her estate and a home, and she has to work in the home's like a mansion. She has to work at the mansion, and she has to stay there for a certain amount of time. So think inheritance games. So she's got some things she's got to tick off before she can go back to her home. So she decides to stay because she doesn't have a job back home. Like, this is something different. It's unique. And she really does want to find out more about her family. And then there's ghosts in the home. It's a magical home. She is magical, and she's just stepping into her magic powers. Then we also have Edison. And Edison met Riley on the ferry over to the little town. They kind of had like a angry meet cute because she was nauseous on the ferry, and he was locked himself in the bathroom, and so they kind of got into it. And Edison is just a nerdy guy who doesn't like boats, but he goes on the ferry to get away from the island that they're on, because he doesn't also like being on an island. Kind of miss like what that's all about, or maybe we haven't gotten into it yet. But basically, Edison and Riley are going to connect because Edison is a librarian and historian, and he really wants access to the mansion that she's now owns, and nobody's allowed access to that. So they're going to try to get to know each other, I'm sure, and all the things. So it's okay. It's giving like 2.75, 3 stars. But for an Audible to like catch my attention, it has to be really good. And this one is just okay. And the story is just okay. So we shall see. But that is the update for Wednesday. I have library tonight. So my goal is to get some reading done, along with some computer stuff. And I kind of just want to like do some productivity. I don't know who has productivity sprints this week, but like I need to like write things in my planner and map out like what are my goals for November, just like life things. So that's on the list too. So anyway, I will check back later. Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome to the last day of the vlog and the last day of the week and the last day of October reading. So what did I finish? I didn't finish anything yesterday. And I don't think I came on Thursday. So let me tell you what I did finish between Wednesday and today. So I did finish The Roommate Risk, ended up giving that 4 stars. It was pretty good. I thought it was very, very predictable though. And this is the best Talia Hibbert book that I've read, but I'm still not like a huge fan. She's not an auto buy for me, but I'll always peek at her books. I just thought the book was very typical. I think too at this point, like I'm expanding my reading palette. And so reading too many romance books in a row just kind of like drains me a little bit because they are all predictable. In general, they're going to end in love. And so it wasn't my favorite. Well, I shouldn't say that. It was a 4 star. So it was pretty good. Best Talia Hibbert book, but very predictable. Then I also finished Jesse's Secret Language. I don't know if I talked about, but I ended up kind of skimming that because I actually just read that with Reagan less than 6 months ago. And also book 17, Stacy's Mistake, we're reading right now, the graphic novel. So I'm going to move to book 18 as we start looking toward the next book that I'm going to read in my rereading journey of Babysitters Club. And then I lightly talked about this on my daily vlog, but I ended up DNFing this right off the bat. So those that don't know, I think I've said it before, but my job works in equity, and I work purposely to ensure that people are represented in a fair way and that we honor the histories and the lives of people, especially people of color. And I was kind of bummed. Some of the language at the beginning of this book just threw me off. And so I just know it's not for me. So I will probably donate this, maybe put it in a little library around me. I've been seeing lots of people do that. And I just, no thank you. So I did finish today, which I haven't been talking much about, but in the background all week I've been listening to Witches Get Stuff Done. I did this on Audible because it was free on Audible and I already used my credit this month. I am going to give this book probably just 3 stars. It was okay. It is a romance that follows Riley and Edison. Riley is going back to her hometown, or her mom's hometown, to meet with her aunt. Her mom has passed, but her mom was not close to Riley. And so she's going back to her, the hometown of her family so she can learn more about her mom from her aunt. Upon her arrival, on her way to her arrival, she meets Edison on the ferry and they have a horrible meeting. And then